Welcome back to Reclaim Within. I am your host, Ash, and I am so grateful that you are here with me today. My prayer is that you will walk away from today feeling empowered to step out of autopilot, live with greater intention, and connect with your truest self, while also understanding the collective impact of conscious living. Consciousness is one of those concepts that once you actually begin to grasp its depth and implications, everything shifts about how you see the world and your place within it. At the very core, consciousness is the awareness of existence. It is what we are connected to beyond our current ability to fully comprehend. To be conscious is the essence of being present in your own experience. It is not just the fact that you are alive, but that you are aware that you're alive, that you know that you're alive, that you can reflect on your thoughts, on your emotions, on your surroundings. The simple yet profound understanding of consciousness is revolutionary because it touches on the most fundamental aspect of human life, or undeveloped. It's actually because what happens when we absorb the patterns of our upbringing, our culture, our pain, and our conditioning without ever being invited to actually question them. We inherit ways of thinking, reacting, relating, and we live inside of them like they're just the walls of the world, like this is just what it is. We assume that they're fixed. We assume that everyone else is just like us. But here's what consciousness actually teaches, and what I believe with everything that I've got. You're not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. You are not your past. You are not your wounds. You are not the story that the fear has been telling you since you are so small. You are the one who can actually notice all of that. You are the witnesser. And the moment that you can notice it, you no longer need to be trapped inside of it. You are at the beginning edge of freedom. And that is not a small thing. That is everything. I have found that one of the most quietly radical gifts of deepening into our own consciousness is what it does to these structures we've accepted as just the way things are. I am talking about our roles, our identities, the systems that we move through, the narratives we've been handed about who we are and what we are capable of and what this life is actually all about, what it's all for. Consciousness actually invites us to question everything because it's so undefinable. It's so everything, everywhere, all at once. And using our conscious mind to question, not from a place of cynicism or destruction, but from a genuine courageousness, like a courageous curiosity. Say that 5 times fast. But it allows for us to ask, is this true? Is this mine? Does this, whatever it is, serve my life? If you asked yourself that every, let's say 20 times a day, it's a pattern interrupt. It's a curiosity pattern interrupt. And you would be able to actually be like, wow, why am I taking this on? Why did I say yes to that? Why am I responding that way? Is this actually serving who I want to be in the world? Is this serving the life that I want to live? This is the practice of consciousness. This is the practice of having conscious awareness, using our witnessing abilities to actually tap into being something grander than just the reactive patterning that's running the show. When we start asking these questions, honestly, the false narratives that have been the loops that we're stuck in begin to loosen their grip. All the patterns that have kept you small, kept you stuck, kept you dismissing yourself or perceiving that you're being judged by everyone around you, but really it's just you judging yourself. Yeah, that's real. That's a real thing. I see it happen a lot. It might be you. Whatever those patterns are that have kept you performing or shrinking or surviving, and it's bigger than you. These patterns are so much bigger than you. So they can feel really sticky because it's just how you've always done things. And it's how your parents always did things. And it's how their parents always did things. And you see, it's a big snowball. So to be the one to pull in your own conscious awareness and practice using consciousness as a tool to actually be the witness of and actually start living, it's revolutionary. And it is a reweaving process. It is a process. It is something that we consciously come back to over and over and over and over again. I am constantly reweaving my experience, especially when I have some that are really sticky, some really old inherited patterns that keep me small or keep me in fear or keep me reactive. I'll see it pop up and I go, okay, what needs to be witnessed? What needs to be felt? How do I need to reweave this? But it's the act of having the agency to be able to even address it that starts to change the whole story. Because once we see the shape of how something was woven together, and we are able to bring curiosity and compassionate attunement to that experience, it begins to become undone. Just the witnessing of it, just the awareness itself begins to pull apart the tapestry. How beautiful is that? And the more spaciousness opens up underneath it, the more we actually get to see how much we actually do get to choose. But that's not how it's going to feel at first, especially if the way that you've been operating has been, again, tapped into a deeper unconscious way of being. Now, here's the part I really pray that you will hear. Consciousness is not just the personal, it's not just your own conscious relationship with yourself. It is relational, it is collective, it ripples. When you deepen your own awareness, when you do the actual work of reclaiming within and coming home to yourself and reweaving the relational, personal, collective stories inside of your own being, you are not just changing your own life. You change the conscious field around you. You are shifting the field of consciousness that you are in relationship with. I know this because I have done this. This is what I have spent the last 12, 15 years consciously reorganizing and reweaving my life doing. I guarantee you, the more you work on reweaving and allowing for yourself to have that relationship to the conscious awareness of how am I, why am I, being in choice with it, finding the edges, and constantly being in relationship with it, your relationships in your life will completely transform and shift. And I will be honest, sometimes this one hurts at first, but stay with it because it is worth it in the end. The way that you move through the rooms will shift. The way you respond to conflict, to grief, to beauty, to other people's pain, to people disliking you, to people judging you, to people having any sort of opinion at all of it begins to move from that different space and place when you've tapped into that conscious awareness within yourself, when you've truly practiced living and working and massaging and reweaving that field of consciousness. Because consciousness helps us feel what was always true, but is so wildly easy to forget. We are not truly that separate from each other. We are just meeting the world as we are, not as the world actually is. I know, it's crazy. You would think that would be, it's such a simple but hard thing to fully grasp, which means, though, that we can learn to become badasses at weaving and reweaving, to be honest. It's not a political movement or system or an ideology alone. It is the inner awakening of enough individuals that shift the collective consciousness to the point where the field of consciousness simply cannot stay the same. When enough of us stop living in that reactivity and begin to actually reweave a life of full creation, something real shifts. New possibilities are born just by you stepping into a relationship with consciousness. You open up new possibilities in every single moment when you understand that you have agency in your life to be in choice. A new consciousness, or maybe an old consciousness, begins to actually birth itself onto Earth or back onto Earth. I'm not sure, maybe both. And I don't believe this to be a metaphor. This is what I actually see happening. This is what I feel we are all in our own individual stories, in our own unique stories. We are all a part of this. And the piece that moves me the most is that you don't have to go anywhere to find this. You don't have to earn anything. You don't have to achieve anything or wait until you've done enough healing to deserve it. Consciousness is actually not a destination. It's not a reward for being like the most spiritually advanced. It's actually just who you already are underneath all the layering that's happened on top. The peace that you are looking for, the clarity, the sense of coming home to yourself, it's not out there. It's not ever been out there. It's not in what you have or how you show up. It actually just lives inside of the awareness that is listening to these words right now. That the awareness that you are actually breathing right now. The present in this exact moment right now. This revolution starts right here inside, and then it ripples out to touch everything around it. Your only job, your only task, I don't like the word task, your only a sacred connection point, devotional act is just keep returning. Just keep returning, keep noticing, keep choosing presence over autopilot, curiosity over any sort of definiteness, openness over the illusion of having control or having it all figured out. That simple, radical, ongoing act of returning back to self. That is actually how we change the world, to being aware that we have choice in every moment. When we get reactive, when we get intense, because it'll happen. We're humans. We do that. Come back to your breath. Come back to a somatic movement. Do simple twists back and forth. Or take a big breath, put your hands up above your head, and then exhale all the way down to the floor, and then pull your hands back up, and do that for like 10, 15 times. If you're feeling triggered, move the somatic system. The soma, the body, the somatic system is the key to actually being able to remember that you have choice, because it is really hard to rationally explain away to someone that they shouldn't be reactive or triggered. But if you're aware enough to be like, oh, wow, I'm really triggered right now, and you actually can get the body to settle, you can move out of the fight or flight response or the dorsal collapse. If you can actually move that first and foremost, the bottom up, then you can actually work with what's underneath, because there's such beautiful things under there, but we can't get to it if we don't build our capacity to have that consciousness and that awareness. Remember, you are sacred. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting this creative expression and joining me in connecting and remembering the sacredness of life. I am so grateful that you're here and you spend your time with me. And if you feel called to go deeper, you can become a paid subscriber over at Substack, and you'll receive access to my live Zoom calls at the end of every month, where we gather and we work towards reclaiming within together. We go over the topics of the last month and the astrology and Q&A and all that good things. If you would like to also become just a subscriber of any kind, you'll be the first to know when the Building Inner Kingdoms courses launch and the Relational Awareness courses launch. There's going to be some good stuff coming down the pike. I just am lovingly working away. Thank you so much. Blessings to you. And I invite you to remember that consciousness is actually something that is always available to you. It is always waiting for you to connect to it. You are a beautiful and sacred human on this earth, and you are divinity wrapped in humanity. And it is a beautiful and crazy and wild ride. But the more aware and the more conscious we can become of how we are and why we are and the way we do things, the more we actually get to reorient ourselves towards creating the lives that we want to create and living the way that we want to create and how we want to be and how we want to move and how we want to actually take life's hard moments and use them as beautiful initiations into understanding and learning more wisdom. Really quick story before I go. I had a client, and she had talked about how difficult her life had been and how many really hard things that beautiful woman has gone through. And we were in a ceremony type experience together, and she said in the middle of it, when she was a child, the book of wisdom and the Bible was the book that she was always so deeply enthralled with. And I said, oh my gosh, how crazy that that was the book that you were so enthralled with as a child. And you have gone through hard thing after hard thing after hard thing. How do you think you gain wisdom? You don't gain wisdom because life is just peachy, hunky-dory, and perfect all the time. You gained wisdom by going through really hard things, big storms, and coming out the other side and knowing that you've built yourself and that you've got yourself and that you've made it through. The wisdom is in the actual moving through the hard things. So if you're moving through hard things right now, I just wanted to, I don't know, give you that little bit of extra love at the very end here to just say that this isn't always an easy thing to like build the capacity to have more consciousness, to actually be able to be in more choice and to be less reactive. A lot of times our physical bodies have gone through so much that the triggers and the reactivity can be really intense. And just know that if you've gone through a lot of hard things, the more difficult things you've gone through, the more wisdom that you are here to channel through you and channel down and be in service to actually pass it on. So that is all to say. Let us all see if we can operate with a little bit more conscious awareness in our day-to-day lives. And let's be a part of this beautiful revolution of bringing consciousness onto this earth together, to lean in and surrender to the great great mystery that is this life. Thank you so much for being here. I am so grateful to you. I'll see you next time.